You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 25th special meeting for the LaPorte County Election Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good afternoon. We're going to call the LaPorte County Election Board meeting to order. It is February 25th, 2026 at 11 a.m. Please stand and join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Heather Stevens.
I'm here.
Julie Sinclair.
Here.
And I'm Katie Bowen, also present. Approval of the agenda.
I would like to amend the agenda. I have a few amendments here. All of the hearings I put under old business. Those are new business. So I'd like to push those down. Under new business, I would like to add a candidate filing issue. I would like to add, maybe we could do the candidate filing issue as E. I have Steve Shamo here from Microvote who needs to present to us. I'd like to add him as F. And I have the presentation of keys that I would amend to G.
Is that different from C? The resolution to designate key holders?
Yes.
Okay. What did you call G? Presentation of keys?
Yeah, I have new keys for you guys.
Okay. Okay, so then 7 old business items D through J will then follow as H through N. M as in Matthew.
Yeah.
Any other amendments to the agenda? Julie, any amendments?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I was right the first time. It's N, as in Nancy. Okay. For new business. Okay, is there a motion to approve the amended agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Do we have minutes?
No.
Okay.
You'll have minutes for this meeting and the last.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to table the approval of minutes from January 23rd, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Public comment. Is there any public comment today? If you'd please step forward.
Jason Frazier of 119 Dale Road in Michigan City. I was running for MC 23 precincts, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. I went to the Office of Voter Registration to register as that candidates, and I've explained after, talking to the ladies in the office what I have to do, and, the good, being in good standing with the party and things like that I applied for. And a lady named Angie took the paperwork I had and said she was going to hold it until I contacted Julie Sinclair. And I was supposed to contact her that Friday at noon, which I was unable to because I'm at work and they don't allow us to be on the phone like that. So I ended up calling her several hours later. She was nice on her phone, everything, and wanted to meet with coffee. She indicated that she was busy with her business and wanted to get with me, and I could still be on the, what do you call that? On the ballot, thank you. I haven't heard from her since, and I hear that her mom passed away, and I apologize, condolences to you. But I had a call back and forth from Heather Stevens to Angie Heisman to find out where my paperwork was. Heather indicated she never got it. It was due at noon. I think the day, maybe I called her, I don't know. So I called Angie Heisman, and to find out, she said that she just submitted my paper that day, I guess, which, I don't know, what day was that, Thursday or Friday, I think?
Yeah, this is what we put on the agenda as E, the
Okay.
candidate filing issue.
Okay.
So Angie had told me over the phone that, oh yeah, we're going to push you through, which I appreciate, but that was late, I guess. So I'm just wondering what's going on with that and why did this happen.
Mr. Frazier, will you be here throughout the course of this meeting today?
Yes, I will.
Okay. We have added this item to new business as subparagraph E. If you are here, we will be addressing it as a board.
Yes, I will be.
Okay. Thank you for coming today.
Okay, thank you.
Rodney McCormick, 617 Union Street. Here lately, the Democratic leadership and voter registration has been doing a lot of stuff that's not appropriate. That's my friend, Mr. Frazier. I encourage him to run for office. I didn't care what party he ran for. Just get out and run. We need more people to run for office. And he followed my directions, came in. I believe his paperwork was notarized by Angie Heisman, if that's how you pronounce her name. But she purposely withheld that information. I hear a lot of nonsense about our President Donald Trump and how he's trying to prevent people from participating in an electoral system. Well, this is clearly blatant what's going on here. This is not the first time she's pulled capers like this. She's done this before, over and over again. She hides behind her sexual preference, the multicolored flag of confusion. I don't like it. Everybody has a right to run if they want to run. It's not for her to challenge nobody. If they feel that he wasn't in good standing, Ms. St. Clair can do the same thing she's doing to me today. She can challenge. It's not her position to do that. I believe that she also, Angie Heisman, also changed people's primary record, which is very easy to do. All you have to do is type in, delete it, and move on. I believe that's been done as well, because I've looked at some of the Democratic people that had to receive certificates, and none of them has a primary history. None of them. That's kind of ironic. Maybe one, maybe two, but when you see 6 or 7 people that don't have no primary votes whatsoever, it's not adding up. You know, we come before this board in good faith that things are going to be done the right way. And I don't see how it is going. I don't see things being done the right way here. I don't even know how Ms. St. Clair is even sitting on the board at this time. She's definitely in violation. She's definitely in violation of Indiana Code 3-8-2-7. The Democratic Party has only allowed two positions to be ran for, because they're not public servant seats, they're membership seats. And one of them is a precinct person, and the other one is a state delegate. Her position is as a leader, and so I'm not challenging her, which at this time, about that. But what the board needs to do is remove her until you get some clarity on this, because I don't believe she should even be sitting there right now, because she's in violation of state law sitting on this board. This is something I brought up. We should have been prepared for this. It's not right, and it doesn't sit well with me. I never met this woman in my life, and I'm just going to make sure this is clear. The comments that came out of her son's mouth about people dying, or somebody should kill themselves, or somebody will do it for you, to an elected official is shameful. It's shameful. And not one time have I heard her denounce it. Not one time. I'm not a fan of Fagan, but I honor his position and the fact that he won his election. To wish death on somebody is pretty bad. And I don't know why nobody is speaking up about this, but I am. I'm not that person. I don't believe that Republican or the word Democrat, both of them are just words. Neither one of those hurt anyone. But individuals who run for these parties, they hurt people. They do things they shouldn't be doing. They say things they shouldn't say. Whatever you decide to do in your bedroom or whatever you got going on, that's your business. But in the public and doing things the right way and making sure that everybody's invited in and not excluded and not feel disheartened like Mr. Frazier is right now, this board, y'all should be upset right now. Very upset. This is wrong. And for those comments to come out, we wishing death on people from the Democratic Party, it's shameful. You can shake your head all you want to. I'm your Huckleberry. I'm going to stand back up here when you challenge me. I'm going to win. And when we come back, we're going to get rid of you sooner or later. All I have to say is this. Please, take time out, look at the statute. She shouldn't be sitting there. She's in violation of state law. And her position is not a public servant. Her position is a public servant, and it requires for her to do things a different way. There's only two positions that the Democratic Party has made clear. And I say it again, that's a state delegate, and that's also a precinct person. So we have to do the right thing, and we should do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick.
Well, I didn't expect to be on trial today. My name is Angie Hensman. I live at 237 Leo Avenue, and I am the Democratic representative for the the voter registration office. And I know we'll be talking in depth, and I hope I'll have an opportunity to explain what happened with Jason Frazier's paperwork. But I just want to address the personal attacks on my sexuality, on who I am, what I do in that office, and anyone who has any connections with me knows I serve everyone equally. I am there to serve people, and I do my job as I have been told to do it. And everything that has happened that they are referencing, things that I was told to do a certain way. And I just feel like that this is unacceptable. I also know for a fact, because the state election board has already said it is absolutely perfectly fine for Julie Sinclair to be on that board. We clarified that with the election board. Nothing was done without permission first. And there was absolutely no statement of hate or wishing anyone death officially from the Democratic Party at all. So all of these things that he just said, I would ask that people would understand they are not true. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hensman. Any additional public comment?
My name is Nicholas Morelli. I reside at 401 Swastika Ave, and I'm being challenged by...
Sir, can you please repeat your name into the microphone so
Yes.
it's heard in the live feed?
My name is Nicholas Anthony Morelli. I'm running for PC chairman for MC11 in the delegacy, and I'm being challenged by Julie Sinclair. And I'm not here to talk about what laws may or may not be being broken. I just have one question.
Okay.
Why do some people get a pass and not me, when I truly only want to do what's right for the county? That's really all I have to say.
Mr. Morelli, will you be here for the remainder of the meeting?
I'll be here as long as you need me.
Okay, the challenge has been moved under new business. It will be subparagraph, I believe, J. Okay, so we'll announce it. Please feel free to come up at that time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Julie, just to clarify, the delinquent CFA 4 is still under old business. The rest moved
Oh.
down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Did I just royally mess you up?
No.
Okay. So Mr. Morelli would be under
New business.
new business,
Yes.
under H and I.
So you're not moving the delinquent CFA 4
I wasn't. We can't.
Old business?
Yeah, because we did discuss that at the last meeting.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, sorry.
How these subparagraphs are really going to get me today.
I want to see Julie's agenda after this meeting, or Katie's agenda after this meeting.
I should just take a picture and put it in the live feed. I'll get the M and the M correct one of these times. Okay, any additional public comment? Hearing none, we'll move to old business. Center Township Fire Department Vote Center replacement.
Okay, so if you guys look, you're gonna see where it says polling places in your agenda here. I feel like I'm getting an echo. Basically, this is the 2024 election. This is every vote center that we had, how many people voted at it. And the Center Township Volunteer Fire Department, on Election Day in 2024, we had 1,070 voters. That was our second highest vote center. However, I did go out and talk to Sarah out at the fairgrounds, and it sounds like they are giving us that space not only for early voting, but on Election Day, which is huge. We won't be set up right where we were. We're going to be set up at the back because that can be even more secure, and we wouldn't have to move the equipment. Like if they had a function in there on the weekends, we don't have to move, which moving is horrible.
So we'll be in a different building, essentially.
No, it's the same building.
Oh.
It's just at the back of the building instead of the front, and we can secure the doors. We can secure the doors to the outside, as well as anything going into the sheriff's department. So I guess the question is, do you want an additional to me, that's going to serve, I can fit 20 machines in there.
Is the list that you gave us all the locations in Center? How many locations exist in Center?
Right
in
inside.
your plan right now?
I don't know.
More than
Yeah.
5.
There's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know we have to meet here in a couple of weeks.
We do.
So if you guys want to table that, that's fine.
I don't think we need to replace Center Township Fire Department Vote Center with another vote center and staff that additional vote center when we already have multiple in Center Township and we'll have the fairgrounds. Do we want to look at this further or vote today?
That's
How many?
Right now we have roughly 36 locations throughout the county. We're required to have 8. So to me, when we lose one, yes, it's a loss, but eventually we're going to have to dwindle down regardless. Losing the Center Township Fire Station was quite the hit because so many people voted there, but that's also what caused security issues. I mean, safety issues. But so now I think at, what's it called? It's right out there by the lake. Oh.
Cummings Lodge.
Cummings Lodge, thank you. So we only had 776 voters vote there. So people that would vote out on Johnson Road at the Center Township Fire Department could just as well duck into Cummings Lodge. It's 2 miles away.
Right.
So I don't, while it is a loss, it's not a loss. Do you know what I mean?
And the parking was an issue.
The parking was the biggest issue.
It was hard to get in and out. So now if we have the fairgrounds secured,
We have
We
the
will
fairgrounds,
have
we have Cummings
ample
Lodge, we have voting everywhere.
And people can vote anywhere because they're vote centers. They don't have to
Correct.
vote only in their precinct. So we have 35 other vote centers available for the entire county.
Well, technically, we'll still be at 36 because we didn't vote at the fairgrounds last election.
Oh, that's right.
On election day. So it really doesn't reduce our number. If anything, I mean, I think we can get more machines in there, and when the county council comes down on us, it's going to help because
Yeah.
So we're not, I mean, this is just a switch. We're not talking about reducing right this moment. We're just talking about, the difference in those two locations, and it's better, right?
well, early voting is going to start in April.
Right.
So we have decisions to make.
Yep.
Center Township Fire Station is not an option.
Yep.
So to me, having election day at the fairgrounds, yeah, I'm going to take it.
Okay, yeah. Agreed.
Do you want to vote on whether we want to replace Center Township, or do you want to keep that in the vote center plan?
Center Township?
Yes.
Center Township has to come out of the
For
vote center
the
plan.
fire department vote, do you want to vote separately to not replace that specific location, or do you want to just keep all of the locations in the vote center plan vote? So basically for item 7A, do you want us to take a vote right now?
So item 7A
Is fire department.
I don't know that replacement is the right word. It's been removed
Why
from the
don't-
vote center plan.
Why don't we just vote in total on the vote center plan when we need to?
Okay,
So that we have all the locations, once we have all the locations secure.
I'm good with that.
Okay. All right, so then vote center plan, we'll roll right into it.
Yep. So the vote center plan, we are, and I didn't bring that because, I don't know. Right now, my
Well,
focus
it's still
is
in the works.
It is in the works. Right now, my focus is definitely early voting. We do have the 8th Street, 8th and Wabash for early voting. We have the fairgrounds for early voting. And it's going to be up to you guys whether or not you want to do Wills and Wanata. A lot of this depends on what's going on legislatively as well. So I love it when they just leave us hanging right when it's time to plan things.
I know we talked about having another meeting in the next 2 to 3 weeks so that we can finalize the vote center plan. Do you need it sooner than that, or is that still okay?
No, that's fine.
All right.
But like I said, the vote center plan, we're going to have constant conversations about, and this isn't anything, a lot of this is not something we need to vote on right away, but I need it, I need all of our wheels turning because it takes a village.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot of manpower to make it all happen.
Oh, Carrie's amazing. She gets that part done.
Okay, C, legislative committee voting update.
So this is the fun. I'm actually on the legislative committee for the Clerks Association. And what we've learned is that we don't know anything. Early voting, we will either have the option for the 28 days or we won't. They will knock it down to 16. And as of right now, we still don't know. So as soon as we know, I'll let you guys know. Typically, our Michigan City and LaPorte early voting locations are open the full 28 days. A few years ago, I said, I actually made the motion to only have Wanata and Wills for 2 weeks, and they shot me down. And what happened was our early voting workers sat there for the first 2 weeks with nothing to do. So I want to be mindful of the money that we're spending. I want to be mindful of looking back to see when people start voting where. So, but also we don't want 4-hour lines. So,
Right.
Let the data drive your decision, right?
right. So again, just
So more to come.
more to come
Okay.
for sure.
D is the hearing delinquent CFA 4 for the committee to elect Joseph Nelson. Yes, please.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Good morning, thank you. How are you?
I'm exceptional. Thank you.
Can you please state your name?
Joseph Nelson, 611 Donnelly Street, Michigan City, Indiana.
Thank you. Heather, do you have Mr. Nelson's paperwork?
Yeah. You don't have the looks of this?
I think so. Oh, I'm sorry. You put it on the
Sorry, I had those too.
My apologies. Okay, so Mr. Nelson, we show that your committee filed a CFA 1 July 11th of 2025 for your committee to elect Joseph Nelson. And then the committee to elect Joseph Nelson filed its CFA 4 report on January 21st, 2026, which is time-stamped at 12:02 p.m. The deadline this year in the state of Indiana was January 21st, 2026 at 12 o'clock noon. We show that there is notices that went to you reminding you of the need to file the CFA 4, including emails, January 20th of 2026, January 21st of 2026. And it appears that you did correspond back. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, all right. Now, there is in the Indiana Code delinquency penalties if a CFA 4 form is not received by the deadline. It is a $50 per day penalty times the number of calendar days with a maximum penalty of $1,000 should someone not turn it in after that many days. Does the board have questions of Mr. Nelson?
Why not get it in?
I don't have any excuses. I went about filling out the paperwork. I thought I sent it. It was queried. Sent in my outbox. I think it's Taylor. She gave me a call, notified me that it wasn't still turned in. When I went back in my inbox, when I went back in my email, I seen that it didn't go through. So at that point, I sent it through, and I believe it's like 12:01, 12:02. So I'm not going to stand up here and making any excuses. I got plenty notifications, and I had ample amount of time to get it turned in at an earlier fashion, but I didn't. So
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions, Ms. Sinclair?
Nope. Well, we're next.
I move to enter into evidence the CFA 4, the CFA 1, and the emails sent to Mr. Nelson that I just referenced. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. What's the pleasure of the board today?
I would make the motion to assess a $50 fine.
I'd second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All, aye? Okay, motion carries. Mr. Nelson, the board has imposed a $50 fine. There will be a written order that the election board will send to you. Payment can be made to the clerk's office here in LaPorte, but not at the Michigan City location. The payment should come here.
can that be paid today?
It can be paid today,
Okay.
yes.
Great.
Do we need to wait until they have the paperwork?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd have to wait until the end of the meeting, though, because
That's fine.
we have it with us, so they won't know what we're sending you over for. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Nelson. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lady Sheriff. Go.
All right, just one second. Okay, moving on to new business. Resolution designating proxy or designee to perform the duty of initialing absentee ballots and absentee ballot security envelopes.
Yay.
That's a mouthful.
I know.
Yeah.
I will be reaching out to both party chairs to let them know the number of absentee ballot workers that we're going to need. And you guys should be hearing from me this week. I think the deadline's sometime in the beginning of March, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But we typically don't need them yet. I hate to bring in people to work 8 hours a day when the work is 30 minutes. So what's happened in the past is Taylor and I, or Carrie and Taylor, we always make sure that there's a D and an R, and we keep everything balanced, and we do it in the middle of the clerk's office just to, so everybody knows what we're doing and everything's on the up and up. But this just formally designates them, just so that there are no questions, no issues. Now, there's going to get to a point where we can't, obviously, the clerk's office cannot handle the number of absentee ballots that need to be put together and sent out. And at that point, that's when we call in. Also, we are calling them in a little bit early because they've been great about helping to assist with the mobile voting unit schedule, travel board schedule, things like that. So that's all on my list.
And B, the resolution to authorize ABS Travel Board to outside of LaPorte County.
Oh wait, are we passing this one? Or what do you guys want to do with the first one?
Oh, you need a vote on that.
I need a vote.
Okay. Going back to A. I move for the board to enter the resolution designating the proxies at this time.
Second. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Do you want us to sign it now?
Yes, please. I'll need a pen because I have a pencil. Thank you. I can sign it.
Okay. Resolution to authorize ABS Travel Board to outside of LaPorte County.
So I caught a little grief when the agenda went out and people saw this and they're like, where are they going? Like, people could just vote anywhere. No, this would be in case somebody ended up in the hospital, maybe Porter County, maybe down in Stark County. This would be adjacent to LaPorte County. But things happen last minute and those people still want to vote. So this would allow our team, without an emergency meeting, our DNR travel board team to go out and to get that person voted. That's what that would do.
Have we needed that in the past?
Yes.
Okay. And do the people, if it's necessary, does someone call the clerk's office and request it? How does this work?
They do. They actually call in. They speak with our travel board, and then we have a D and an R go together. They take a machine to the voter, and the voter then votes in front of that travel board on the machine.
Cool. Any questions, Julie? Okay. I make a motion to authorize the ABS Travel Board to travel outside of LaPorte County for the purpose of securing votes.
I'll second. Are you good with that, Julie?
Yes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Resolution to designate key holders.
So in 2021, I did a crazy thing and I locked our absentee ballot box. Wow. I actually had our maintenance department come in and drill additional holes in the boxes so that we could have 2 locks on each box. And what that is, it's a Democrat lock and a Republican lock on each box. We have two ballot boxes. Those are kept within a room that only I have a key to. So therefore, by doing it this way, it takes all 3 members of the county election board to get to the ballots, which I love because that's the way it should be. And while we started this, I think 4 or 5 years ago, I don't know what happened to the old keys. And I thought rather than, chase them down, we're just going to get new locks. But what we did run into in 2024 was the absentee board would need something. They would need to work on a ballot. They would need to double check something. And I couldn't get them out of the box, which is fine. I don't need to. So what was suggested at a clerk's conference was to have designated key holders. So I'm going to leave that up to the two of you because those are your keys. But if you would like to designate someone to hold a key, you're welcome to do that. And if not, it just means we're going to have to get you in here immediately if somebody needs anything. I did have a quick discussion with Julie beforehand. If your designees are going to unlock that box, you will be notified.
That's the main thing.
Okay.
You know, I don't mind having a designee. A designee in the courthouse is obviously going to be the most convenient thing for everyone. But if we're both notified, if somebody accesses the lock, that satisfies me.
Yeah, because there would be 3 people. So it's not one person going in there and unlocking anything.
So we don't need to designate the person today. We just need
No,
to
this actually,
to allow us to designate key holders.
and I would prefer that. I would prefer that you select your own. This was a copy of a copy. So, but yeah, if you would like to designate your own key holder, I think that would be the way to go.
Okay. Okay. So I would make a motion that we have the ability as the election board to designate a key holder and it only be one person as key holder designee
Yes.
during the term of absentee voting.
Yes. So you would each have one
We
person.
would each have
correct?
one person, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Go
I
ahead.
do have a question about this
Yeah.
one. I'm going to leave this resolution as 2026-3 if that's all right.
Yes.
And basically we can change the names and sign.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And the last resolution is the resolution to authorize absentee travel board to allow registered voter to complete an ABS application and ballot in front of the ABS travel board.
Yes. So what happens is the travel board goes out to an assisted living facility and somebody didn't sign up, but they really want to vote, or you'll get 15 somebodies who didn't call in, but they want to vote. And this just allows the board to go ahead and allow that person to vote. They would take the application, they call in, they get all the information that they need, make sure that that person is registered. They get the ID number, all that good stuff. They work with our voter registration team. They'll call me, they'll call Taylor. We get it done. So.
So I'll make a motion to authorize the absentee travel board to allow registered voters to complete the necessary ABS application and ballot in front of the travel board for purposes of voting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, added on subparagraph E, candidate filing issue. And this is in relation to Mr. Frazier.
Do you guys both have this?
Do you want me to be down there for this?
You would stay here. Okay.
Thank
Hi.
you, Mr. Frazier.
Can I have a copy of my application, please?
Sure.
Got it? Julie, do you have this one?
All right.
Okay, Mr. Frazier, you should have in front of you the same paper that the board has in front of all of us, which is the CAN 37 Declaration of Candidacy for Precinct Committeeman or State Convention Delegate in 2026.
Okay.
On this form, it looks as though you were intending to declare your candidacy for Precinct Committeeman MC 23, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And You brought this form to voter registration?
I signed everything in person and had it notarized that minute that I signed everything. I had spoken to the ladies about some requirements or whatever
Okay.
and got some suggestions.
And then when you filled this out and it was signed, did you leave it with voter registration or bring it to the election administrator at the clerk's office?
I think after a while it was recommended as that Angie keep it till I talked to Julia Sinclair,
Okay.
and I had till Friday at noon that day, but I didn't call till about 2:30 because I was at work, and I just can't pick up the phone, anytime I want. But I did, however, follow up as soon as I could.
Was the reason that you needed to talk to Julie to get a chairman's certificate? Is that what the conversation was regarding?
The only thing I could recall was they had to know if I was in good standing with the party.
Okay.
And when I called her, she wanted to have a cup of coffee after Valentine's Day when she was done with her business because she was, too busy to, I guess, get and meet up or something. And I didn't know what was going on. So I did, however, call after I talked to Heather Stevens because she was wondering what happened to my paperwork, I guess. And the same day I'm calling her back, which was 2 days later after she called me, I called Angie. Kind of went back and forth calling Heather and Angie. I called her once, so Angie, just asked her what happened to my application, what was going on and everything. She said that Julie had had a death with her mother in the family, and I understand all that. And but according to Angie, she pushed everything through, and they, as in the clerk's department, should have the paperwork. So right after I hung up with Angie, I call Heather a couple of minutes later. I said, Heather, they're claiming that they got the paperwork, and she's like, well, I got it now. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's where it stands.
Okay, so the date on the back of, which is your page 2, it's on the back of our page, shows that the document was notarized on February 5th, 2026. Would you agree that you went there February 5th?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And Heather, do you know when the clerk's office received the paperwork?
Yes, I got a phone call after the deadline to file had passed. I got a phone call from Kristen over in voters registration, and she asked me what to do with this. She said, I have a filing that wasn't filed, and I don't know what to do with it. And I said, well, send it over here. That way it's going to be a me problem, not a you problem. I want to stress that voter registration, when you are at work, you're not working for the parties. You don't hold paperwork. Nobody has to go to voter registration in order to file their candidacy. We can notarize right at the counter. You do not have to be checked by the party ahead of time. It is up to the party to challenge your candidacy if there's an issue. So this never should have happened, Mr. Frazier. You don't file with voter registration. It's not their job to check you. And I sincerely apologize that we did not get this until after the filing deadline. It is likely, because I do have your vote history attached, and it is very likely that you would have been challenged and removed, but that's not the point. The point is, you should have been instructed to file with the clerk's office, because voter registration is not where you file.
Mr. Frazier, I'm going to ask you a few additional questions. Would you allow me to put you under oath for the questions?
Sure.
Can you raise your right hand?
Sure.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
When you brought this form to voter registration, did anyone at voter registration tell you to take it to the clerk's office so that you could be, your candidacy would be declared?
That I do not recall.
Okay.
I didn't bring it to them. I signed everything out in front of them at that moment, and it was notarized right there at that moment.
Okay.
I had a few questions about the parties, the candidates, you know, what's involved, what should I do? I had a lot of questions. This is my first time. And the only thing I got out of it, and when it was said and done, after my, you know, questions were answered, I was advised to call Julia Sinclair about where I stand with the Democratic Party. And I did call her that day. I know I was late, but she said she was busy with her floral company, and she wouldn't be available till after Valentine's, and she would still be able to put me on the ballot if she felt like I was, you know, the material, I guess. And I haven't heard from her since. And then that's when I received a call from Heather, probably was the last, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday or something. But I think we finally got a hold of each other on Friday. I'm busy at work. It's just during the day I don't have that freedom to just pick up the phone. But yeah, when I finally talked to her, she said she didn't have my paperwork, and I was like, oh, okay. So I called Angie, and that's when she said, oh, yeah, she said go ahead and push it through, and your paperwork is at the clerk's office. And so I called her back, which is Heather Stevens, and she said, well, I just got the paperwork.
No, I had it. It just hadn't been.
Right. I apologize for that,
Yeah.
for wording it that way, or
So
I'm not sure what's going on. I just want to be a candidate, and I don't.
I'm not sure either, so I'm just trying to
It sounds like
figure
there's some
out what's
confusion
going
going
on,
on
too.
here.
So when you went to voter registration, then you left there without the paperwork you signed. It
Correct.
stayed at voter
Yeah,
registration.
that's correct.
Okay. And you don't know for sure when the paperwork went from voter registration to the clerk's office?
No, I was just recommended it just be with Angie until I receive a call, or call her, I guess,
Okay.
which is Julia Sinclair.
Heather, do you know when your office received the paperwork?
Yeah, we got it the afternoon of February 6th, after the deadline.
Okay. So, correct me if my memory is wrong, but filings had to be in by 12 noon on February 6th, correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And this paperwork was signed and notarized and completed prior to the February 6th date. As I just indicated, it was February 5th of 2026, but then not brought over to you until after the 12 noon deadline.
Correct.
Okay. And Mr. Frazier, when you left this paperwork with voter registration, did you think that it had been filed?
No, I'm not even sure what the process is, honestly.
Okay, all right. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Frazier?
What would you like us to do with this paperwork?
I don't know. It sounds like a mistake somehow, some way. If it was pushed through and she approved it, then I'd like to be approved and be on the ballot.
Is there any opportunity for me to say what happened from
Absolutely.
this perspective? I got a call from, if you are going to file and you don't have the requisite vote history, you need a chairman's certificate. And I got a very late call, and he acknowledges this is no fault of anyone's, and about this late we couldn't get connected because of the work schedule, his work schedule as well, in order to get a chairman's certificate filed. But I don't know Mr. Frazier. I don't know, I haven't seen him at any party meetings or anything like that. So that does not necessarily mean you're not a good Democrat. But if you would like a chairman's certificate, I should probably know you and get to know you. And so that's why I said, so if you don't have time to get to me, and we don't have time, which it was the day of or the day before, it's like, no problem. You can be appointed to a position. Any good Democrat can be appointed to a position as well. So we had this pleasant conversation. I presumed it was resolved. He didn't have time to come to me to get the chairman's certificate, so I presumed that he would be satisfied with an appointment, and we could have a conversation later. But he didn't come to me. He didn't have time to come to me. So that's my position on it. So I had no idea there would be a conflict today, and I welcome all people to the party.
No, I understand that, but it is not the responsibility of voter registration to be vetting candidates.
I did not personally tell him not to file his paperwork.
I understand that, but people should not be going over to voter registration to be checked before they file.
No, right. I think it was for a notary possibly is the reason.
They don't have to go there to be notarized either.
Absolutely. They should come to you. You have one at the counter.
Go ahead, Mr. Frazier.
I just want to clarify, I gave permission for them to check me because I want to see where I stood. I don't want to make everybody into an enemy here, anything like that. And Julia, you told me you'd get back to me. I don't know why you're saying I don't have time for you. I do have time for you. I never said I didn't. That day that I made the call was several hours after the noon time. I even got it on my phone to let me. And I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to tell the truth. You said you were busy and you would get back to me. I have your phone number in my phone. I'll call you when I'm ready.
Yes, and I would for the appointment.
You never called me back.
That wouldn't happen now.
So if you were already at voter registration on February 5th, it could have easily been walked over by you since you were already across the street to have this paperwork appropriately filed so that you could have...
And I could also be educated by those people in the office to where the tickets.
Correct.
But even if they did, I have someone holding on to my app. That's the purpose.
Right. And if you would have just walked it over,
They could have walked it over.
today's
as well.
conversation could have been different. They have the ability to bring a challenge. You see
Right.
that there's plenty on the agenda today, and if that was the concern, that would have been the appropriate next step. Unfortunately, no one in the election division even received your application for you to make the first step and be considered a candidate for precinct committeeman of MC 23 until after the filing deadline closed. To be honest, I don't know if we have the ability under the election code to accept a late filing.
We could accept a late filing. However, the
Challenge deadline
to challenge was last Friday. I just want to stress this. Voter registration should absolutely not be holding on to filing paperwork.
Correct.
This is unethical at best, guys. This should not happen again.
Can I make another question here?
Yes.
I'm waiting for Mrs. Sinclair's phone call, supposedly. I never got her phone call, and respectfully, I don't know you, but I can't make assumptions of when and where to call when she says, I'll give you a call back, I am busy, I'll let you know when we can meet up. I mean, that's not my fault right there. That's a fault of yours, no offense. If you didn't get back to me, that's, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but let's own up to it.
I would have gotten back to you after the primary, which is when I
Right.
needed, that's when I would get back
That's
to you. You
what's-
just are
okay.
new to the process, so you wouldn't know that.
All right.
That's when I would do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there's a misunderstanding, that's fine.
And if you come to a meeting, you could ask me that at a Democratic Party meeting. You could do that. And if you want to get on, so you could do that. There are Democratic things you can come to. And you can ask me those questions. I'm happy.
No, I'm all new at this, so I'm
Yep,
just trying to partake
absolutely.
in something that I want to
And Mr. Frazier,
put my word into.
this board is here to enforce the election code. We are not here to determine if you can be on a ballot as a Democrat or a Republican. That's not, the board doesn't challenge. The board hears the challenge. So to know that your paperwork was signed on February 5th and then it was never processed is alarming. Because we want
Alarming
people
was
to
the
run,
fact, too.
we want people to run for office. We want people to take a step up and represent the public. We want people like you to be able to put their application in, even though you might not know the process.
Okay, respectfully, I just want to say respectfully, I have a lady that's telling me she's going to get back and never did.
I understand. that.
Okay.
So my concern right now is that you should be a candidate on the ballot for
Right.
primary. You should be here today only if you were challenged.
Right.
You shouldn't be here today with me hearing for the first time that your paperwork was sitting in voter registration and never made it to be filed.
Right.
Because I'll tell you right now, the election board has reviewed all of the candidates' filings and all the candidates' paperwork, and I didn't see your name. So this is new to me today.
Right, I got
Okay?
you.
And I'm not thrilled to know that someone in our county wanted to run for office and isn't on the ballot and now doesn't have the opportunity to be challenged. I mean, that doesn't sit very well with me if you were given information incorrectly or if you weren't even told, like, hey, go walk this across the street so you have the opportunity to run for office. You know? I don't like that it was sitting in the wrong office and the board didn't have the opportunity to even have your paperwork processed. That you want to run for office, this is the form you needed to file, and for whatever reason, you weren't even given the next step. So I would like you to be on the ballot. I don't think that this is your fault. I'm not blaming anyone. I don't think that this is a fault issue, but I think that you took steps and initiated steps to declare candidacy for MC23. I think that you thought you did what you needed to do, and you thought that your paperwork was going to be filed. And if someone wanted to challenge you, they had the right to challenge you. If you were on the ballot, if you were declared a candidate by having this paperwork filed. To have it then submitted after the noon deadline on the day it was due just adds a little bit of insult to the injury that already occurred. So as a board, we don't need to make people jump through more hoops than they're already jumping through. These forms aren't easy. I mean, you guys have heard us say before that the campaign finance forms are a bear to deal with. We try to work with people on those. Like, we don't need to make this harder. At whatever office, whatever location, it just doesn't need to be harder. We need to make it easier. We need to want our communities represented by people in our community. That's what we want. We don't want to know that you had intention to run and then didn't realize you weren't even, your paperwork wasn't even submitted.
I think that both party chairs need to have a conversation with their co-directors in voter registration, because this is, do not mess with the elections, guys. Like,
Permission to make my case?
There's not a case to be had. This is
I am a witness to what happened in that office, and he is saying things that I have a right to explain what happened.
there is not a microphone in front of you. The board has not called you to give any testimony. We have called Mr. Frazier currently.
Why? Why wouldn't you want to know what happened in that office?
Mr. Frazier's paperwork is before us, and it wasn't filed with a seal, and then it was dropped off a day late. I don't care if it was 75 people that knew about it, if it was one person that knew about it. What I care about is that I have an individual standing in front of the election board that wants to run for office and now doesn't have paperwork that was filed. Whether it's his fault, my fault, Heather's fault, Julie's fault, everyone in this room's fault, it doesn't matter. We need a resolution. I don't need to go back in time, and the board does not need to hear every single person's information. The board needs a resolution. That's what we need. I'm making a motion that Mr. Frazier be placed on the primary ballot.
I want to say out of respect. I mean, she did say it was pushed through, but then it's late. I mean, I don't want to discredit anybody.
You said that.
Yeah, right.
You did say that.
I don't want to discredit anybody or point them out as, you know.
So, Mr. Frazier, you left this in that office on the 5th.
Yeah, it was probably around 9, 10 o'clock.
And the deadline was noon on the 6th.
Right.
I have a question, if I may. Will it be?
There's not time for public comment yet, so please hold your question. Okay, so there's a motion on the table. Does the board wish to have discussion?
I'll second for discussion. Julie, I don't know what you want to do with this.
I want people, well, people need to understand where to file. And no one told somebody not to file at the clerk's office. I want that very clear. No one said, don't file at the clerk's office, right? Just put that on the table. You have to file your paperwork with the clerk's office, and it's my job to challenge if I want to challenge. That's what we need to walk away with this from.
Yes.
That's what I want to say about this.
But how would you have an opportunity to challenge if it was sitting on someone's desk and not sent over?
Someone needed to walk it to the clerk's
They
office
didn't,
and file,
but
but they
other-
didn't.
Other filings had come in. Is that correct, Taylor?
Yes, I've received filings from both parties walked over by voter registration prior to the deadline.
But not this.
Not that one.
And it came in on the 5th, right?
Who's Jason's?
Yeah, the 5th.
It was left in voter registration.
On the 5th.
It was given, yes.
The
they
day
had it on the
before.
5th,
Jason's was not over until the 6th.
Okay.
after the noon deadline. And that was only when I was contacted about it and said, well, at least send it over here so that I can take it to the board.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table. Do we need additional discussion?
I feel like I go both ways on this one because, you know, we're a county election board. This is a party seat. This is not, I don't like anything about this, but we should have had his paperwork. And if we didn't get the filing, then then he wasn't placed on the ballot, so there would be no need to challenge.
If voter registration was not walking over CAN 37 forms routinely, I would not be as concerned that this one didn't get walked over.
There's a question.
Is it correct that they're doing that? Was this a mistake? Was it set aside? All of that can be true. The issue today before the board is we have a gentleman who dropped off paperwork at voter registration to take it there, have it signed and notarized, which many candidates on the primary ballot have done. That is the same process they followed. Right, wrong, or otherwise, that is the process that they followed. So this gentleman before us today did the exact same thing, and for whatever reason, his paperwork wasn't walked over in time. It could be unintentional, it could be a mistake, people are working, it gets busy, but right now, standing before us is a candidate who is not going to end up on the ballot unless there is a decision by the election board. And to know that the process he followed is a process that many candidates have filed and yet he's standing before us without his paperwork properly filed, is my concern.
Can I ask a question? Is it common for whoever's walking over to bring all the forms that are there? Taylor?
So when I've been receiving them, usually I've been getting them when Kristen's daughter comes back from lunch. She usually brings me a folder of filings. I didn't know there were filings the first time I got the folder. I thought it was just people switching out seats, like just different forms for other things, until I got a message asking me, did I get the filings? Because I hadn't added them to the candidate list. I said, oh, I didn't know there were filings. And then from that day, I literally probably got like 6 or 7 days, I got folders with filings in them from both parties, from voter registration.
Right, but different people from voter registration would walk them over, or?
Usually it was the same girl coming back every day. When she would go eat lunch with her mom, she would come back to the courthouse and she would drop them off every day.
Okay, so, I think that having, maybe pinned this on one person seems like not what we should be doing.
I already said it's not being pinned on one
over
person.
with the rest is the question.
You might want to hear from somebody else who was involved, but,
I would like to, because I'm not comfortable with any of this.
Well, I guess I will add, like, one of my concerns was I wasn't even informed that the paperwork was coming to me from voter registration from both parties. Because then I have to mail out like a Can 5 to the people and a copy of their filing instead of them just being directed to come to us. So I didn't know why voter registration was holding any filings, even if you notarize them. I like it to be in my hands because I handle the list and I have all of the physical filings. So it did leave me a little confused, and I said something the first day that I felt like, how do I know that I'm getting all the filings? How do I know something's not getting missed? And I feel responsible that I'm responsible for the filings because they're supposed to file with me. And I feel like
Right.
with voter registration, even if you notarize it, you should inform them. You can't hold the paperwork. You can't anything like that, because then there leaves room for error.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with all of that. I think this is a great learning lesson that files should not just accumulate and be brought over to the clerk's office later. Voter registration should never take or keep a file, and it's not a one-person thing. It's a process thing that should not happen. So, but that still doesn't address Mr. Frazier and his desire to be on the ballot. But, going forward, we have to have some sort of procedural thing where this never happens again.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Are you wanting to call another witness?
No.
Okay. Do we have additional discussion?
We did.
We did.
I'm good.
Does anyone have any additional
I'm good.
discussion? Okay. The motion remains on the table.
Oh, I did second for discussion.
Oh, okay. So you seconded the motion. So all in favor of the motion for Mr. Frazier to be on the primary ballot as precinct committeeman for MC 23 as Democratic Party? Aye.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
Motion carries. Mr. Frazier, your name will appear on the ballot as you've indicated on your form.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As a question, do I need to do anything specific with his, I have his actual filing. Am I supposed to date it, write anything?
I would make a motion that Taylor date that for February 5th, when it should have been sent over with the others.
Okay.
I would second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion carries. So February 5th on that date.
Is now the time to make a motion, a procedural motion about what happens going forward? That voter registration not,
So,
Well-
we're not over voter registration.
Correct.
That is the two-party chairs.
Okay.
So I would urge you and Mr. Stevens to get together and let's decide
I can do that.
what your co-directors should and should not be doing.
Got it. Done.
Micro vote.
Steve's like, get me out of here.
No, I'm gonna make this short and sweet because you guys have a lot going on. Last time, my name's Steve Shamma with Mike Vote, general manager there. Been there about 30 years. I sold the county their voting system in 2006. The discussion, I'm really not asking for any motion or anything, but years ago, this election board asked that any references before going to county commission and council to discuss any changes to the voting system pass through recognition of your board and approval to go ahead and move forward. A new voting panel has been developed about 5 years ago to replace the current voting panel that's in place in the machine. The benefits of it are higher resolution screen and higher security protocols within it. The current equipment, the current panel that's in the voting booth is now 20 years old as the county owns it, plus another 6 years on top of that from the technology. 2 years ago, the goal was to try to go ahead and move with a new panel by the 2028 presidential election. At that time, it didn't make any sense for the board because you were considering vote centers at the time, and you would not need the quantity of equipment that you had, so it wouldn't have made sense to go. Since 2006 and 2008, walk-in early voting took place or came into play. Your county now in the last general election voted over half of all your votes in the early voting period, the other half on election day. Long story short, you currently have an inventory of 329 machines. The general election, you only needed 247. And so the idea is to ask the board for permission to start interacting with the county commission and council on behalf of per chance of replacing the voting panel. And that's about it.
You're going to go to those meetings with me?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it is a big undertaking. It's an expensive item. And so the whole idea of the time has come to start considering moving towards that. That said, the voting panels that you have will work fine. We'll go through the process. If nothing happens, you'll be fine for the election itself. But that's where we're at.
Are you talking we'll be fine for 2026, for 2027, for 2030?
Yeah, 2026, 27, and preferably by 2028, everyone in the state's on the same platform. Right now, we're at about 65% of the state has switched to the new panel. And go from there. But you guys added the paper trail device a few years ago on a state grant, so now we have high-level audit. This county was one of the first in the state to volunteer for an audit of the voting system when the audit process went into place. So you guys have always been progressive on affirmation of the system.
It's
just
finances.
It's always the finances. Yeah. So. But anyway, at the time, you get that made sense to buy the number of machines because you were precinct based at that time. But so much has changed, and if you're voting 50% in advance, 46,000 I think voted roughly. You voted 24,000 roughly in advance. That number will continue to increase, and so you'll probably be voting 60% in advance.
And does the county have to change all panels at one time, or?
No, they don't. But for training purposes, it works best if they do. Okay. And so then, in those circumstances, then we're able to spread payment out over like a 3-year period, okay, and really just kind of start get the equipment in place and then worry about take care of it. It just is much more efficient that way. Okay. And your cost per voted ballot through your walk-in early voting has diminished highly. By going to vote centers, there has been significant savings, and on top of that, you could have very significant savings if you're able to reduce the total inventory by about 50 machines. And,
okay.
Yeah, because
50 more machines.
50. Yeah, you'd use 50 fewer than what you originally purchased.
Already using.
I would have you at about 265 to 270 total, leaving you 30 in play. That if you wanted to add another vote center, or more importantly, another early voting center, then they would be used. The complication with the machines is that when a machine is used for early voting, it cannot be used on election day because those vote types have to remain separate by state law. That's it.
Hey, did you say something about the chips?
Yeah, the problem is the cost of the panel. Unfortunately, we can't even give a firm price. The data centers globally have bought up 75% of all memory chips in the world, and so there's 40-week lead times just to get it, if you can even buy it at this time, the memory chips that go into it. And so that's why I'm trying to get the ball rolling now with a 40-week lead time, just to be able to start building with an additional 3-month lead time. That's where we're at. Our manufacturer can't even tell us. We did have an $18 chip in this price now is $80, and if we ordered it, they'll tell us what it really costs when we're done. So there's a little bit of slow roll, so I can't even define price at this time with the commission. We're supposed to have a call this week after the Chinese New Year's ended and such like that, so.
Okay.
And one last question. Are our voting machines connected to the internet?
No, they're not. They're not, no. Nor will these be, so, okay.
We'll
So
just repeat that over and over.
Yeah, over and over.
Put that
yeah.
on a loop.
Yep. But anyway, that's all I'm asking, that if I can work through the clerk's office to go ahead and reach out to the commission and council and put this on their radar for a 2 and 3 year plan and moving from there.
Do you need a motion for that?
We can make one. I think it's kind of just the way it is.
Sure.
but-
Okay.
I make a motion for micro vote to present to the council or the commissioners with Heather Stevens and anyone from her team or the election board.
Okay. And if contact is made, then obviously you guys will know about it too.
Yes.
Well, thanks for working me in
Motion.
on such a busy day.
Thank you. See you next
Is
week.
there a second for the motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Steve. Mr. Morelli, there's not any public comment yet, so if,
I just want to make sure that I get one when there is done. I'll sit down.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ensure that. Thank you.
thank you. Presentation of keys.
Oh, so what we have here, when I came into office in 2021, one of the first things that we did after we cleaned up the absentee room was we put locks on the absentee ballot boxes. I actually had to have maintenance come in, drill 2 additional holes because there was only one lock or one hole per box. However, I don't know what John and Brody did with their keys, and rather than everyone go nuts over some keys, I just got new locks. So you're each going to get a new padlock. You're going to get 2 because we have 2 ballot boxes. Okay. So please label these. I know I had the lock labeled like D1, R1, and those are on box 1. And then the keys were labeled the same way, so you knew which key went to which lock. And then you're welcome, as we get our key holders, you're welcome to give them the other keys. So basically, for right now, I'm just going to give you each two padlocks with your keys. And then maybe after the meeting, if you would like, you can come in and label everything. We'll get everything opened up. We'll go put the locks on. And there we go.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're going to move into hearings. So we have a proxy that will come up for Ms. Sinclair that's already been duly sworn. Lana? Is ready sworn in?
Yes.
Okay.
She was nice enough to come over to the clerk's office. This is Nicole Messacar. She is the proxy for Julie Sinclair for this.
And as Heather said, Nicole Messacar will be our proxy for Julie Sinclair. The first matter under the hearings, which is H, under new business, is Julie Sinclair candidate challenge versus Nicholas Anthony Morelli for State Convention Delegate District 3. And I believe we have Ms. Sinclair and Mr. Morelli both present.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to speak first?
Okay.
Can
You go first.
You go first. Okay.
I'm gonna swear you in now for all of the hearings. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so as it relates to Nicholas Anthony Morelli for State Convention Delegate District 3, Ms. Sinclair, please describe your challenge.
He just does not have the requisite vote history. He has a Republican vote history most recently, and so it's strictly procedural. I don't have a lot of chit chat about it.
And
I guess I will say this, because it's going to come up in the next challenge. The Democratic Party, in its wisdom, decided to make change this year when everyone else, including all of the candidates for Republican Party and all of the candidates for Democratic parties, have to have 2 of the requisite primary votes. The Democratic Party decided to have an exception to that. So that will come up in the next one. I did try to, but that does not apply to this case. So that's all.
And there
Procedural.
was, since you're here today as a challenge, I just want to clarify, there was not a chairman's certificate provided for this
Correct.
candidate.
Correct.
Mr. Morelli, do you wish to address the board regarding the challenge? Please come forward. Would you please state your name again?
Nicholas Morelli, Nicholas Anthony Morelli, 401 Swastika Ave, Michigan City. So, I'm sorry, what is your name again?
My name is Nicole Messaker.
And I don't understand exactly why that's
I am
what-
serving as a proxy for Julie Sinclair since she is a member of the election board, but also the one,
You seem really nervous.
I'm not nervous, requesting the challenge. She's trying to
Is
keep
this
a
something you've done before?
separation between her vote as the election board member and her role as the Democratic Party
And
chair.
Mr. Morelli, our proxy has already been duly sworn today, so if we could focus on the
Sure.
challenge at hand. Thank you.
Of course. Well, I do want to say you can call it a proxy. There's thousands of words in the English language. We can describe things many different ways. I would call that a fall person because am I the person that I'm asking the question to, or am I still having a conversation with her? I don't understand now.
Do you have any comments to make regarding the challenge that was
Yes,
filed
I
for
do,
your
but I have
state delegate
a question
District 3?
that I need clarification on before, and I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
I would like to understand what happened there. Because I'm not facing her anymore. And this isn't a court, but
You're correct. This is not a court. Ms. Sinclair cannot sit on the board to make a decision on something that she presented to the board for a challenge. So a member who has presented a challenge is required to have a proxy sit in their place to make a decision.
okay. I understand that.
She can't do both.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm directing my question to whom?
To the board.
To the board.
the board.
Okay. Well, I talked to the Secretary of State's office this morning, a very nice woman, walked me through how the situation works. We have party rules for the GOP, and we have party rules for the Democrats, and then we have Indiana state law that we all follow, right?
Yes.
But we're all from Indiana. We're all Hoosiers, right? It makes it really difficult when you have party rules on either side and not a governing, that's where my confusion stems from. That's what I would like to just preface my question with. And I'm under the understanding, and it is law, that, I voted the wrong way. But Ms. Sinclair has the ability 100% to give me her blessing, so to speak, or a hall pass. I'm here for the county with my hand up, and I'm posing these questions. They're not rhetorical. I feel strongly about this. And makes it very difficult for people. It's very hard to understand when you got 3 laws you got to deal with. We're used to dealing with state and federal. I'm just coming from a place of, I'm a Hoosier, not a politician. So my question is why do some people get a pass in some situations and some don't? How is that fair and American? I'm a Democrat. I vote on issues, and these have been very volatile elections. So I hate to say it, but our choices haven't been that great. But they are what they are. And like I've said before, I can thank every president we've ever had because they left office and didn't leave us with a dictatorship. That's being 100% American.
So, Mr. Morelli, the challenge indicates that your last primary election, you polled a Republican ballot. And that's the basis for the challenge.
I was told by text, I have text with Julie Sinclair saying in no good conscience can she sign a document. She never had a conversation with me. I've still never spoken to Miss Sinclair. I got my back to her right now. But I'm speaking to everybody here and everybody listening. Like, this is the case. And she agreed to meet with me at the LaPorte County Library, 210. And I said, that's perfect. Would you like anything in advance? And this is after you refused to stop speaking with me, Taylor, by the way, which seems there's patterns going on
That's
here.
not Taylor's call, that's mine.
Okay, okay. Thank you for making that known to me, because I don't understand all these. And you just taught me something. Thank you so much. And you taught me something, too, that you guys close rank and protect yourself. But it's really that simple in my mind. Why do some people get a pass and some people don't? I'm a Hoosier. I want to do what's right for the county. I'm getting paid nothing. Zero. These jobs pay nothing, correct? That's my understanding. And I haven't spent a dime. I'm here. I had to get a ride here. I don't have a car. I'll probably walk back to my brother, you know? And when you guys say it's only 2 miles, you know, to go vote, some people don't have a car, ma'am. And it's a big difference, you know, between those people being able to get somewhere and not. But that's not what we're talking about. I'm sorry. Truly, I want to do what's right for the county. I am a Democrat.
Okay. Does the board have any questions of Ms. Sinclair or Mr. Morelli?
No questions from me.
Any questions?
No questions for me.
What's the board's pleasure?
I would make a motion to grant the challenge.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Mr. Morelli, the board has determined to grant the challenge that was presented by Ms. Sinclair, which would effectively remove you from the primary ballot for State Convention Delegate District 3. If you'll stay here, Ms. Sinclair, the next hearing is Julie Sinclair, candidate challenge versus Nicholas Anthony Morelli for precinct committeeman MC 11. You can come forward.
My challenge is, again, just procedural based on the primary voting history. And I did not assign a chairman's certificate, so just simple procedural.
Okay. Mr. Morelli, do you have anything additional you'd like to add regarding this challenge?
Nicholas Anthony Morelli, I don't understand what she just was saying there. Can you explain to me? She said that there was some sort of error. I was never made aware of an error.
No, she didn't say error. She was talking about the paperwork that she filed for the challenge.
Okay.
And that the challenge is based on the voting history.
Right. So
essentially,
my
the same
question
information
would be
previous.
to Julie, am I not 100% American?
Yeah, he needs to direct his questions.
I'm sorry. I'm
Mr.
sorry to
Morelli,
the board.
can you address them forward,
Yes.
and we can ask Ms. Sinclair to stand up and address your question.
Well, it's really that simple. I've told you guys where my heart is and what my values are, and I'm right here saying that and hiding behind paper and a fall girl in a way, you know.
Your last
You
time
can
you wrote
bypass
was
the voting
Republican.
record. That's doable by she's choosing not to, but
And that's
what that says to me is that I'm not un-American. I'm not valued. For everything I just said, that's absolutely genuine. A piece of paper isn't good enough. Is that correct?
Well, the challenge was brought before the board, and the challenge is based on affiliation with a party. And so the vote history is what
Where
is
do you think
primarily
it
used.
is that? Well, I just explained to you where I was politically. I never had the chance to speak with her about it, so I apologize that I'm a little. But she spoke with me one time and then sent a text 2 hours later canceling our meeting and already making up her mind before even hearing what I just said right then. Okay. So, and then I'm also seeing patterns here of people being told to go to the voter registration office, and that's Goot who told me to do that. And, you know, a lot of this, you know, me getting involved in this was fueled by that individual. And we know who I'm talking about, Logwood. So, again, you guys are looking at somebody who wants to do something good for the county, the people of my precinct in the state of Indiana. And you're telling me that because of my voting record and because you can You will not be allowing me to do what I'm clearly passionate about. True or false?
We haven't voted yet, sir.
I'm still here, man. I'm here, happy to answer any clarifying questions about where I stand politically and why I voted the way I did. That's what the conversation I wanted to have. I'm ready to have it.
Okay, Ms. Sinclair,
That's a party matter, so I don't think that's an appropriate.
can you step forward, please?
Yes,
so the
that's a
microphone
party
is-
matter. That's a party matter. And so I don't think that's an appropriate conversation for the election board. That's appropriate for the party.
Okay.
Do I have
Board
a
has-
chance to
Does the board have
speak?
any questions for
I have,
Mr. Morelli or Ms. Sinclair?
I have something
No, I
I'd
don't
like to say.
Okay.
It's not a party matter. It's an American issue. We're Americans first. Indiana's, Hoosiers next. You can say that because the law says you can. And your party's rules say you can. I apologize.
Okay.
But this isn't right. People are going to know that too. And I see everybody in this room nervous. I don't want to make anybody nervous. I didn't put anybody in the positions that they are in to be nervous. I showed up for my county and my state.
Thank
And
you.
I listen to the Star Spangled Banner every single morning, all right? And I'm sorry I didn't vote correctly and that I won't be able to move forward because of that. Is that what's happening?
What's the board's pleasure?
I would make a motion to grant the challenge.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Aye.
you.
Motion carries. Subparagraph J is Julie Sinclair, candidate challenge versus Rodney McCormick Sr. for precinct commitment MC01. Is this moving forward, Ms. Sinclair?
No, I had attempted to withdraw this, and it's not really a thing that can be done. Mr. McCormick does meet the procedural requirements, so if I could have withdrawn my challenge, I would have, but I can't. So I will ask you to deny my challenge because it's simply procedural and he has the requisite vote history. So I have no objection to him being on the ballot. That's all.
Motion for the challenge against Rodney McCormick to be denied. Is there a second?
May I have something to say before you make your vote?
Yes. Can you please state your name one more time, please?
Rodney McCormick Sr., 617 Union Street. Hearing this young man and dealing with my friend Jason, and I just got to say this again. She's not qualified to serve on an election board. I want the record to make sure the record reflects that. I hope that you appeal because she had a standard that she had to hold. She did not. She did not vote in 2 primaries. She didn't do it. She should not be on the election board.
Mr.
She should not. I just want to make my note on what, because there's nothing you can do to me. I'm good. I knew that from the moment she opened her mouth. This is wrong, and we are tired of dealing. This is why I separated myself from the party, because we keep getting bad leaders in the Democratic Party. They only think about themselves, their family, and their friends, and their flunkies.
Mr. McCormick, your issue has to be addressed with your party. The board has no ability to determine what member of the board should be on the board or should not be on the board. The party selects the individuals for the board besides the clerk.
She selected herself. Therefore, she's not qualified to be there. She should not be on the election board. She shouldn't even point a proxy. She shouldn't have challenged nobody because she is illegal. She had to go she had to vote 2 different primaries. Matter of fact, she only voted 1 time. The primary before that, she voted as a Republican. And all these people that she signed in, some of them are Republicans. I feel for him, and I want to make my statement. You can go ahead and have your vote. I just want to have my moment to defend those who cannot defend themselves right now. I mean, I wish he would have known this information. If she's not qualified to be on the board, she shouldn't even be bringing people cases. She shouldn't even be bringing challenges because she is not authorized to do so by state law. They withheld that information from people, and if that information was leaked out, or if that information was told, then she wouldn't even be the leader of the Democratic Party right now. She violated state law, and I'm just going to put it on the record, and I will have a seat. Indiana Code 3-8-2-7, Section 7, Section 4 and A. She's in violation. She only voted in one primary as a Democrat. Thank you.
Okay, so the motion is on the table. Was there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What's the motion?
The motion was to deny the challenge
Thank you.
since it could not be withdrawn.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Mr. Morelli, it's not time for public comment. Thank you. Alan Stevens candidate challenge versus Gail Gonder for state convention delegate. Oh, Mr. Stevens, if you could hold on just one moment, please. We are now done with the challenges from Ms. Sinclair, so we're going to bring Ms. Sinclair back up to the seat, and thank you for acting as proxy today. We appreciate it. Is that your phone? Okay, all right.
I'm challenge you. You pay that $1,000.
Mr. Stevens. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam President, members of the Election Board. Alan Stevens, Chairman, LaPorte County Republican Party. If I may make a real brief suggestion, if I'm out of line, correct me, but I have this challenge, and then we have a big challenge, and then I've got another little one. Would it be possible to do the two little ones, take a brief recess for the benefit of some of the older men in here that had too much coffee this morning, and we're an hour and a half deep into this meeting?
There's a gentleman behind you approaching. If you could please approach. Could you please approach the...
Chris Cooper. I'm an attorney for Mr. Grammarosa. I have court obligations, and I've been here already since 10:45.
Okay.
And things that seem to be...
Julie, I would make a motion to hear the challenge from Mr. Grammarosa first in order to get his attorney where he needs to be.
Thank you so much.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. So if we could change your order, we are going to pass the challenge on Ms. Gail Gonder and move it to item L, and we're going to bring up the candidate challenge versus Richard Grammarosa for Township Board. Mr. Stevens, if you're going to testify today, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So the matter at hand is I am challenging the residency of Richard Grammarosa for the Galena Township Board. IC 36-6-6-3B requires that a township board member reside in the township. It has been brought to my attention by multiple members of the party that they do not believe that Mr. Grammarosa is a legitimate resident of Galena Township. So from May 8th, 2024 to June 22nd, 2024, an independent investigation over 45 days from public property out at the Grammarosa property on 500 East yielded the following information. So out of 71 observations at 321 Lake Hills Drive, Rich Grammarosa's personal vehicle was seen there 48 out of 71 observations, or 68% of the time. Bear with me, I wasn't actually prepared to go right yet, so this kind of threw me for a loop. So one of the concerns that I have is that Mr. Grammarosa was simultaneously claiming homestead deduction in the city of Chicago at 1452 West Ohio Street. At the same time, he was also claiming homestead deduction at 8444 North, 500 East in Rolling Prairie. I find that to be problematic. Indiana Code 3-5-5-11 states the place where a person's immediate family resides is the person's residence, unless the family's residence is 1, a temporary location, or 2, for transient purposes. So it's my belief that his wife, Connie Grammarosa, lives at 321 Lake Hills Drive in Michigan City, and by this statute, Rich's residence should also be deemed to be with his immediate family at 321 Lake Hills, where he actually lives. Indiana Code 3-5-5-6 in part states a person can rebut these presumptions by demonstrating intent to reside in another precinct and conduct taken to implement that intent. So it's my intention to call a witness to rebut the assumption that Mr. Grammarosa is actually a resident of Galena Township. At this time, I'd like to call Timothy Stabos.
Sir, can you please raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help me God, I do.
Thank you. Can you please state your name?
Timothy Stabos, 1501 Michigan Avenue, LaPorte. I'm the former LaPorte County Auditor.
Mr. Stevens, the witness is yours.
Mr. Stabos, from what date to what date were you LaPorte County Auditor?
I took office January 1st, 2021, and my last day was December 31st, 2024.
At any time while you were serving as a lawfully elected LaPorte County Auditor, was a complaint ever brought to your office challenging Richard Grammarosa's homestead exemption and or his residency in Galena Township?
We had a complaint filed in my office by Commissioner Rich Mrzinski about the homestead being allegedly invalid. We have a written complaint. A written complaint from Rich Mrzinski was submitted to the office. I will say, unless you want to ask questions, I do want to say right off the bat that I gave the complaint to my office manager because I thought it was a hot potato, and I didn't want to be accused of bias either way. I gave it to my office manager. I said, you handle this in the professional way, the most professional way possible, the way you, and treat this situation like any other person, and make your decision and let me know what it is.
Can you discuss the nature of your investigation and the results of your investigation?
Well, conducted
by your office.
Well, initially, my office manager took initially the simple route and looked and saw that in LaPorte County that the Grammarosas had one homestead, and that that there was not one on the Lake Hills property, but there was one on the Rolling Prairie property, and that for our purposes. That was good enough, that they weren't having two homesteads, which is cheating, quote unquote. They had one homestead, and that was the extent of it. Information came later to my office, later in my term, re-challenging and redrawing my attention and bugging me like about like this is not livable. So we reopened the investigation and looked into it again. the assessor's office went or had been on the property, and they reported that the building was unoccupied. They can go on the property. I don't believe the auditor's office can. I don't have any personnel that go on the property. They said it was unoccupied. And so then I sent a letter, which I can provide a copy to the board, to Rich Grammarosa, asking, to that address, asking for electric bills and the documentation that they actually live there, voter registration, driver's license.
So what was the final result of the assessor's visit to that property?
Well, the assessor told us that the building was unoccupied, and that's why I took further steps to verify that through seeking electric bills. I took control of the investigation myself at that point because it was the second time around where people were telling us, based upon some of the documentary evidence that you have, or talking to people in the party myself, that the building was unoccupied. So we requested detailed information, including electric bills, that showed essentially usage of about, on average, $5 to $10 a month on the property. We requested bills from 2020 through 2023, 4 full years. I left office, and I did not get to the point where we removed the homestead exemption, but we would have removed the homestead exemption. I left that for Mr. Rosenbaum and encouraged him in a letter about 12 different things for him to do on December 31st at 8 p.m. when I left the office. This is something that you need to, unfortunately, proceed with, and I hope that you would, because the evidence at this point is quite strong, to remove the homestead going back 3 years.
Did your office receive any electric bills from American Electric Power regarding the property out in Galena Township?
Yes, Indiana, Michigan Power, actually.
And what did those bills seem to indicate?
The bills indicated, as I stated, on average usage of, I have them in front of me, usage of electric service of $9.51, $8.93, $9.97, $6.41, $5.46, $1.98. Virtually no usage in the house.
So any reasonable person could determine that this kind of low electric usage would mean that nobody's living at that property?
Well, that's where the auditor's office, that's where I went with that, but this is all evidence for the election board to do with as it sees fit. I think that's
so is it your professional opinion as the former LaPorte County auditor that Rich Grammarosa resided at this residence?
Well, it's my opinion that he did not reside at this residence. The frustration to me, I would just say at the end of my term, was that I wanted to remove the homestead. I will be honest with the board, I had dropped the ball. I was distracted by lawsuits with the former county attorney and other things, and this had kind of gotten buried for a few months, and I wanted to review it myself, and I did, but I thought if I removed a homestead right at the end of my term, that would look bad politically, so I decided to leave it for Mr. Rosenbaum, who has done nothing apparently with it.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions before I see my...
Does the board have any questions?
Not at this time.
Are those electric bills dated in 2024?
No, they're dated from 2020 through 2023. My understanding is that there is still a homestead on that property, though.
Mr. Stables, would it be possible for us to get copies of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, although not right this minute, probably. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I apologize. I wasn't entirely prepared to go yet, and I am not an attorney, although I've watched a lot of Law and Order on TNT. At this time, is Richard Grammarosa in attendance?
side here.
At this time, I'd like to call Connie Grammarosa, please.
I'd like to present to the board. I mean, I have no notice that he wanted my client to show up, and I can address that issue with the board.
Can you step forward, please, and talk into the microphone?
Yeah, if this gentleman could, if he's finished, I'd like to present to the board, please.
He can
Well, I
still
wasn't
call a
entirely
witness.
finished until you butted in, but
Well, I'm going to butt in because this hearing is regulated by Indiana law,
Correct.
and my client is entitled to due process. So I've just heard about an investigation. I have not been given a copy of investigation. And then I've got a person who has violated the public trust because he was once a public official. He's now in his individual capacity using documents that he obtained as a public official, all of which are hearsay. And then he says Mr. Rosenbaum has the answers. Mr. Rosenbaum isn't here. I can call Mr. Rosenbaum as a witness. I'm definitely going to need a continuance. One moment, please. The Indiana Supreme Court has made crystal clear, I'm not trying to lecture any of you because I don't know any of you, that these proceedings can defer from Indiana rules of evidence, trial rules,
Yes.
but only slightly. The amount of hearsay I just heard from this individual, a self-described expert, and the fact that he's using material that he obtained while he was a public official, that's criminal.
Sir, if you wanted to raise these objections as though this was court, you would have objected. The testimony was being questioned.
I was not aware
So
of the procedures.
my only question is, are you objecting to Mr. Stevens calling the next witness?
The next witness would have to be me.
No, the next
which
witness.
is not possible because my client isn't here.
The next witness is, who did you just state? Connie
client.
Grammarosa. No, Connie Grammarosa.
Oh,
is
Connie.
who he said.
Okay.
So are you objecting to the calling of a witness?
Okay, I am not, but I need to get into the record, and I hope this is going to be transcribed.
It's recorded.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I was not aware that I could object. My understanding was that in this meeting, just based on being here the past 2 hours, that you want people to raise their hands, and when there's an opportunity, when there's public comment, they can speak. I have not been given rules of this committee as to how to best protect my
We're not
client's interest.
required to do that,
Okay.
sir.
Right.
We don't even have an appearance from you that you would be
I
presenting
filed the appearance
today.
yesterday. I sent it to Ms. Van Sickle.
Okay.
Okay, so she has.
All right.
All right. So the issue
My
is
mistake,
my
then.
client is entitled
I
to
didn't
due
receive a
process.
copy.
Okay? If there's
I didn't receive a copy, so I apologize.
Okay,
Because
no
I don't even,
I also did not receive it.
If there is an investigator's report, I want to see
sir,
it.
can I stop you there? Who did you send it to yesterday?
Ms. Van Sickle.
To how, in what format? did you
Whatever
send the
whatever
notice?
email address is on the notice.
Okay, she's indicating today that she didn't receive it. So if it's still sitting in your email, can
it's
you
not
please
sitting in my
forward
email.
it
I sent
again? Okay, well, we'll double check. That's all. All right.
So I can tell you right now, I would like an opportunity to see this report. I have a right to see this report. On review, a court would find that this board acted capriciously if I don't have an opportunity to see the report. I've been practicing 27 years in Indiana, and I do a great deal of practice before administrative agencies.
Okay.
At this point, I think I know the law, and what I just witnessed was bizarre.
Okay. I appreciate that. However, you've been practicing for 27 years, and you already had announced yourself to this board. You know you have the right to object if you did not want certain testimony brought into the record. So at this time, I just need to know if you're going to let Mr. Stevens call his next witness, and if not, please just state your objection for the record.
I can move to strike even at the end of the testimony. It's still timely.
I understand that's different than an objection, sir.
Okay. I move to strike all of the testimony of the individual, the ex-auditor.
Okay,
Okay.
Mr. Stevens.
As to documents, I haven't even seen the documents to know what I'm objecting to. In fact, one of you asked what year was being referred to when he mentioned
did.
$9. I don't know what's being talked about.
We don't have them either.
Well,
So
then we have to continue this to another date, and I need to
then
see
it
those
needs to be continued to tomorrow because the decisions are required to be made in accordance with the election code.
What time
So
tomorrow?
we would need to continue.
Noon?
I don't,
I have a
what time is the room
10:30
available?
status in federal court, but I can make sure I'm here.
If it is.
Can we take a brief recess to confer that the room here is available? Because that will allow it to be publicly recorded, and I'm sure
Right.
you would
Then
like the
I need
video.
an order to this individual standing to my right to provide me with all of the documents that he's referencing.
I understand, we're not done. I just need to make sure we have the room availability. So the board is going to take a brief recess. Hopefully we'll be able to re-adjourn in 5 minutes at 1 p.m. Back on the record, again, this is the candidate challenge of Alan Stevens for Richard Grammarosa, Galena Township. I believe that during the brief recess, we have decided that this matter will be continued by all parties until tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. in this same room. So that is, let me just make sure I get the date right, February 26th, 2026, 8:30 a.m. in this room. And Attorney Cooper, correct?
Christopher, yeah.
Attorney Cooper has requested specific documents be shared with him before tomorrow's meeting, re-adjournment. Can you please let us know exactly what you're asking Mr. Stevens to provide so that we can
Everything he
notate it
relied
in
on
the...
today. He says he has an investigation file. That, all of the bills that he referred to from 2020, which I don't think are relevant, but I still want to see them.
Okay. And is it okay if these documents are provided to you through email?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay.
Yes,
Have you
yeah.
provided your email to Mr.
I
Stevens?
did. I just gave him my business
Mr.
card.
Stevens, you have the email to send these to?
Correct.
Okay. Can they be sent over to him today so that he has time to review them before tomorrow's 8:30 meeting?
Yeah, I think I can get them in this evening still.
Thanks.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah.
And we will formalize that in order as well, that you have requested the investigative file, the 2020 through 23 bills that Mr. Stabos used, and that this is being continued by agreement to tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. for continuation of this hearing.
All right, thank you very much.
I do have one reservation about turning over the entirety of the investigation. It's that the entirety of that investigation sits with the Indiana State Police right now, and they're waiting to complete an ongoing investigation of the Grammarosas before they go into another one. So, can I give them? Do I want to tip them off to what the state police are investigating them on? I mean,
Well,
I can
That's-
So I'm an ex-cop, all right? There's no way he has an ISP file. ISP would not give him a file. Any file he has is his own, perhaps from a private investigator.
not an ISP file, a file that was turned over to the ISP for investigation.
That's fine, and then it's discoverable.
and if that was in your possession and it's in your possession and control now, then it's subject to discovery, unless it is ISP's file. If you
not-
actually have an ISP
Let me
file,
clarify. It is not ISP's file. It is
we
an
need anybody else
independent.
coming in tomorrow.
It is an independent investigation that was turned over to ISP, and
Okay.
it's sitting in queue.
He and I
and
have,
I don't.
he and I have a
wanna-
mutual friend. He doesn't know it yet, but it's a fellow Marine. But we know. So I'm not gonna
Okay.
have a problem. I don't have a problem with what.
Okay, I will draft an order to that effect,
So-
get it out to both of you, and we will see both of you tomorrow on this matter. Will
be here.
all of your witnesses that need to be here tomorrow at 8:30?
My client will be here tomorrow.
Your client will be here, and anybody
Yeah.
else that you need, please make sure they can
Yeah.
be here at 8:30, because challenge decisions are due by
Someone's
noon
got to bring
tomorrow.
coffee, though.
To the,
See ya.
here's,
If-
on the record, I will say I will bring coffee, okay? Because it'll be 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Stevens, please stay there. We have the rest of your challenges.
So one second.
Chris, you go.
So if I'm going to be calling,
Mr. McCormick.
You can call my
Connie Grammarosa.
Fine, you can call them both.
Will she be here to testify tomorrow also?
Available tomorrow.
I'm sure you won't.
Her husband will be. See ya.
Is there a challenge against me?
Get on your broomstick and fly away.
No.
There.
I'm doing it on a public meeting. Thank you.
There is not. Okay. All right.
It's kind of like your video where you're calling us nice names, right?
Is the wind blowing?
Hearing-
Could somebody shut the door, please?
Mr. Stevens, your candidate challenge versus Gail Gonder for state convention delegate, please. Is Ms. Gonder present? I don't see anyone coming forward. Okay.
She emailed us saying she couldn't be here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She did email Taylor indicating that
Yeah.
she could not be present today.
Okay.
This one's pretty cut and dried. The two primary rule, and it's a party rule and it's a state law, the two primary rule, and Ms. Gonder has one of each most recently. And all of our delegate positions are challenged. We've got 3 times as many running, and she does not have a chairman's certificate, so.
And Ms. Gonder is not present today. I will note that she did send an email to the election board indicating that she was not able to attend today. State law requires the election board to make challenge final decisions by 12 noon tomorrow, so unfortunately we were not able to reschedule this to next week or continue the matters further. Ms. Gonder is not here today, and it does not appear that anyone is appearing on her behalf. What's the pleasure of the board?
And Madam President, I do have a printout from voters of Ms. Gonder's primary vote history.
Would you approach, can take a look at this?
I thought those were attached.
Yeah. Attach them next time.
There isn't any different information than I have besides the date that it was printed, so I'm sharing with the board. Heather.
Thank you.
Board, any questions? No?
Where's off?
What's the pleasure of the board?
Grant.
Motion to grant?
Motion to grant.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Challenge is granted.
Thank you.
Hearing Alan Stevens, candidate challenge versus Sherry Young Green for Township Board of Prairie Township.
Madam President, members of the board, Ms. Young Green does not meet the 2 primary rule as laid out by state law. She's not a primary qualified Republican. And if you don't have a copy of the vote, you guys do have a copy?
We have a copy.
Okay.
Board, any questions? Hearing none, what's the pleasure of the board?
Grant. I'd make a motion to grant.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Challenge is granted, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you.
$8:30 tomorrow morning, room's confirmed.
Thank you.
For the record, 8:30 tomorrow morning. The room has been confirmed by the county. Thank you, Mr. Hallfield. Okay. I'm looking back over my multiple colored changed agenda. I think we have gotten every one of the items that were amended. Board, please correct me if I'm wrong and I missed anything.
I think you're
Sherry Young Green. Right?
We just did her.
Oh, Sherry.
Yep, we just did Sherry. Okay. All right. Board member comments.
Go ahead, Julie.
I don't have any comments. Just know that their procedural rules are procedural rules. And if you have a complaint about what your party leader is doing, you need to show up at the party meeting. You need to have conversations. You need to do that. These are party things. They're not election board things. I'll be welcome and I'm sure Alan is too, welcome for any conversations and challenges inside the party.
I don't have anything to say today.
Lucky you.
Well, we're not done, so we'll be back tomorrow, and by then I'll probably have a lot more things to say. I thank you all for coming today and being here and being part of the process. It is not easy to run for office. It's not easy to decide to be a candidate. The forms that are required leave much to be desired. They're just not intuitive to complete, and we're trying the best we can to make it better and to maintain transparency in the election process here in LaPorte County. So I appreciate everyone being here and being part of that process. Motion to adjourn? Meeting's adjourned.